Hello everyone, welcome to an episode of I Play Everything. Today we're playing a game that's very close to my heart, possibly my favourite game of all time. I don't know, I debate this with myself a lot. Who knows? This is Forza Horizon. I'm playing this because there's recently been announced there's going to be a sequel, which I'm quite excited for. So what we're going to do what Forza Horizon, for me at least, is all about. And we're going to just take a cruise. So, I'm going to just pause it a second and show you what we're going to do. We're going to go right here from the bottom right-hand corner, the far south, if you will. We're going to go up here and round here. And basically, anytime I can, I'm going to turn right. And we're going to go around the whole map and come back down here to the Kettle Hills outpost. So, let's get started, shall we? I'm driving the lovely Pagani Huayra. One of my two favourite cars in the game. Two or three, I don't know. I have a lot of favourites. Anyway, let's get started, otherwise we'll be all day. So, off we go. And when we come to the exit, just quick left and right. Yep, GSC kids. That's how you pull out of a junction. Look left and right, yeah. So, we're starting off in, I think, probably the sort of early afternoon, late afternoon. And hopefully, as we go around, the day-night cycle will continue to cycle. And we can get a good look at it. I'm driving, like I say, I'm driving the lovely Pagani Huayra. I'm driving with a pad because I'm too lazy to set my wheel up today. And I'm also, just for the record, driving with no assist. This is no way an attempt to show off my awesome skills, because they're not awesome. They're just not. Look, I can't even can't even find an apex so far. But you know, I like to try. So, yeah, this is Forza Horizon, and what Forza Horizon is all about. It's all about the cars and how cool they are, and driving them, and a music festival that, for some reason, which I don't like very much. You know, there's not a lot of great music in this game. That'd probably be my one complaint. That there's not a great amount of music, and what there is there isn't great. So, as you can probably hear, I've turned it off in favour of hearing the delicious noise of the cars. Hearing the roar of many exciting engines. So yeah, things I like about Forza Horizon. The freedom, I think, is the big one for me. When you play in... good accident. Destroy them, good. I hate Chrysler PT Cruisers anyway. No one likes them. Yeah, it's the freedom. When you play in Forza 4 or Forza 5, which I haven't played yet, because I don't have an Xbox One, or say Gran Turismo 5 or 6, or any of them really, it's all a bit dry. You know, you get in your car and you do your laps. Oh dear, I'm smashing everything. You do your laps, and that's it. In this game, you can do this. You can do exactly what... Oh, nice indication there, mate. Yeah. Just like in real life. Oh dear. Yeah, you can get in your car and you can go for a cruise, and you just have a good time. Drive around, enjoy yourself. And also, there's a lot to do, rather than just, here is a race, win the race, well done you, which there is a lot of, admittedly, because, you know, it wouldn't be a racing game without it. But there's lots of other things to do. They added the 1000 Club, which I thought was genius, which basically for every single car in the game, there was a number of challenges. Usually it was 5 or 6, and there were things like do X amount of donuts, or drive from here to here as fast as possible, things like that. And it's just added that little incentive to keep playing and to get every single car in the game, which I did. I bought every single car in the game. I think I got one unicorn car, mostly because I didn't understand how to get them, and they're quite hard to obtain. But for the 1000 Club, I completed it, basically. And even though I haven't played this for maybe 3 months now, I haven't played it in a little while, I'm still ranked around, I think it's 644th on the leaderboards for the 1000 Club content, which I'm quite pleased about, because as you can probably tell, I'm not the best driver in the world. Don't get me wrong, I do love driving games, and I have been playing them for a long time. Too long. But I'll never be the best driver. I'll never be, you know, the slickest driver that ever there was. And I'm under no illusions of that fact. I just enjoy the cars. I enjoy driving them. You know, I enjoy looking at them. I don't know. Without sounding weird, I just love cars, you know. And that's what Forza Horizon gives you. In a similar way to, say, Test Drive Unlimited 1 or 2, it's not so much about the racing, it's about the cars. It's about having a playground to have fun in. That's what it's all about for me. And for the sequel, right, let's not miss this. There we go. Time for a bit of off-roading. In the sequel, I hope this game's set in Colorado. As you can probably tell, I've never been to Colorado, so I don't know what it looks like. Maybe it looks like this. But the sequel's set in sort of southern France and northern Italy, which sounds absolutely amazing. You know, I've seen Top Gear. We've all seen Top Gear, and that's the sort of hilly places and, you know, cool hairpin turns and amazing scenery that you want. You know, that's just what you want. If you're going to take some cool cars out on the road, you want to pretend you're in Top Gear, you know, and go to these cool places and drive these awesome, cool roads. And then, you know, it's all about the content for me and the variety as well, because there's endless amounts of tracks here. They didn't do as much as that with that as they could have done in this game, I don't think. They never added a mode that let you create your own races like Test Drive Unlimited 2, which was Test Drive Unlimited 2 was an incredibly flawed game. The handling model was awful by a lot of people's definition, my own included, but it didn't stop me playing it. It didn't stop me enjoying it. So here we are, lovely bottom of a dam. Ooh, that is a big speed bump. So look out the back. Look at that, very pretty. This is still, I think, one of the prettiest games, certainly racing games anyway, on the 360, and it's quite likely it will never be bettered in this generation. I mean, things like Grid Autosport is on the horizon soon, which is looking nice, but again, I don't think it'll be as pretty as this is. The worst thing about this is if you can direct your attention to the driver's hands. I mean, what does his hands look like? They are scary, and he's wearing a terrible watch. And he's got a wristband on, which I suppose is quite cool because, you know, you collect certain different types of wristbands. It's a gold wristband there that I've got because that's the last one. That's the one I've unlocked. So yeah, it's one of the few games that I've actually completed, like to 100% completion as well, which says something, because I play a lot of games. If you hadn't gathered by my YouTube channel, I play a lot of different games all the time, and racing games are my favourite, you know, probably followed by RPGs and MMORPGs, which I always find difficult to say. But it's definitely racing games are the ones that keep me coming back. But even then, you know, it's very rare that I will play one to the point where I get all the achievement points. Where I've got, I think it's 1,250 on this. I've got all the achievements, and then I kept playing. You know, that's how much. Because usually, I'm sure this happens to a lot of you. In the old days, let's go back a bit. Before they invented achievements, we're not going back that far into like last generation PS2, original Xbox era. Before achievement, you just play a game for the fun of it, and you see what you can unlock and what you can complete and whatever. But now, it's like you collect a certain amount of achievements, then you look at the rest of the achievements, and you'll be like, you know what, screw this, I'm out. Unless the game's a plot-based game. Like, I was playing the latest Tomb Raider not so long ago, and I enjoyed that. I completed the story, and then I stopped playing it. It's like, I collected as many achievements as I thought I could on the way, but I went through the story once, and that was it. I didn't want to play anymore. But especially on racing games, you go, oh, I want to unlock this. Like, let's think. Gran Turismo 2. A game I played possibly even more obsessively than this, only because I was younger and I had the time. And I completed that to 99.97% complete. And you know why I only did it to that percent complete? Because there was a bug in the game that prevented me from going any further, which was kind of annoying. But what can you do? Right, I'm just going to check the map because I think I may have got a bit lost. Oh no, we're fine if we turn right here. Ah, we may have to break the rules here. I know, if we turn right here, yeah, that's fine. So I haven't really planned on my exact route. I just figured every time I see a right-hand turn, go for it. Totally lost my train of thought now. Yeah, Gran Turismo 2. There was a bug that prevented you from getting 100% completion. That's possibly the single greatest annoyance I ever had while playing video games. Sitting there going, where's this last race? Where's this last race? Come on. Like, 0.003% to go. And I couldn't finish it. I know I finished it, but the game says I didn't. It makes me happy. And here we go, turn right again. Back across the dam. Well. That's where we were at the bottom of not so long ago. Oh dear me, smashy smashy. So, here we are, Forza Horizon. All about freedom. Another thing I like about Forza Horizon, because you're not rigidly restricted to doing races and nothing else, it lets you get attached to your cars a little bit more. I have many favourite cars, you know. Some people it's like, oh, I'm all about the Jap metal. Oh, I'm all about, I don't know, BMWs or Volkswagens, or I only like British classics or whatever. Oh dear. Let this be a lesson to you folks. Never drive a high-powered car while you're trying to chat about stuff. But I like everything, you know. I like Italian supercars. I like cheeky little hatchbacks. I like daft little Japanese K cars. I like everything, you know. It's partially because of things like Gran Turismo and whatever. Because you get that opportunity to mix it up and play with all these ridiculous different cars. But things like in Forza 4, it's too clinical, you know. Oh dear. Can't drive for rubbish today. It's too clinical. You don't get to enjoy your car. You don't get attached to it. You don't get to feel out the subtle nuances, you know. Because this Pagani Huayra, which I enjoy saying more than anything, it's not my favourite car. It's just a nice car. It's really cool, and also it's a good car to cruise around in. Usually, when you're paying attention, because it's not too powerful, but it's definitely not slow. It's that delicate balance between insane speed and just actual controllability. This is an R3 ranked car in this game. The ranking system, if you've never played Forza Horizon, they have a ranking system that goes all the way down from F cars up to A, and then you get S level cars, and you get R3, R2 and R1, and then finally X. It's a slightly odd system, but basically the further you go up that, the faster your car will go, the more powerful it is, etc, etc. There are exceptions to that rule, of course, like radicals. They're not especially powerful, not hugely quick, but they're incredibly light, so they are hugely quick at the same time. Lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, I don't need to make the noises. I'm playing a game. So yeah, in conclusion, it lets you enjoy the cars more. Partly because there's less of them, because let's face it, there is an absolutely ridiculous amount of cars in Forza 4 and in Gran Turismo 6. I'm certainly not averse to Gran Turismo, not by any means. I do love all racing games, even really bad ones like you get on Xbox Live Arcade. For instance, Jeremy Gratt's Off-Road. I have played that far too much. You know, it's not even very good, but I've still played it. And anyone else who's played it will probably agree with me on that. It's not a great game, but I've played it loads. But yeah, I think of the two, the big two, if you will, Gran Turismo and Forza, I think I do prefer the handling of Forza just because if you get a bit of oversteer, like so. Oh, hello, excuse me. You can actually correct it. You know, I find it nigh on impossible in Gran Turismo to correct oversteer properly, especially when using the wheel. It's really hard. You have to be so clinical. Right, I'm just going to check I'm still going the right way. Chopping a whole corner off there. Jolly good. A bit of off-roading. It's one criticism I would level at this game. That as much as it's, open world, you're very much limited in where you can go. You know, you can't just drive off-road. You can't just, like, pick one of the 4x4s, the ridiculous Hummer, for example, and drive, you know, see if you can drive up a cliff like you would on, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto, where you can literally drive anywhere. That'd be cool, you know? Can I get a Pagani Huayra to the top of a mountain? Who knows? But this game won't let you. You are restricted to the roads. So a bit more freeformity would be nice. And then a few more off-roady bits as well for the all-wheel drive cars would be really cool. Because as much it does have a rally mode, which is great, don't get me wrong, but it felt a bit cheap to me because they basically just changed the textures and changed the handling of tracks. I think this section might have actually been a part of a rally stage, and they just covered it in gravel, so it was, and changed some of the background bits, and thought we wouldn't notice. Cheeky blighters. We know. We played the game. And the fact that it was a DLC as well was a bit annoying, but can't have everything, can you? But yeah, the variety, adding that rally mode, that was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. So, returning to my earlier point, Gran Turismo versus Forza, I think this generation, it's a real tough one. You know, I wouldn't like to be in the side of all the get in the middle of all the fanboys or anything. You know, but I think Forza just about wins it out for me, just because of Horizon, basically. Because let's face it, Forza 4 and Gran Turismo 5 and 6 are very similar kinds of game, but Forza Horizon, it's just that little bit different, like a little bit more freeform. Oops, we got night time and I didn't even notice. Here we are, winding our way around an industrial complex. Very nice. I wish they'd had made more of this bit actually, as well.
You'll get discounts on upgrades.
There was a few races around there, sort of short hop races where you're really tight manoeuvring with low speed cars or like rally cars, and that was really cool. But there's only that one bit. The rest of it, that's literally it. There's, you know, some other smaller tracks elsewhere but nowhere. There just could have been more of them. I think that's possibly my only complaint. There wasn't enough of this game. Although, looking, there's still a lot to it. It did take me about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, give or take, to go through all the content, which you can't really complain about. So, night time now. Mustn't forget to turn right. That'll be embarrassing. Look at these chumps. No, I'm not going to challenge them. I'm on a cruise. Ah, rubbish. I'm quite glad that they removed the damage model. You can still get cosmetic damage in this game, but your car doesn't get destroyed. So you can still drive it when you smash into the back of Sunday drivers at 200 miles an hour. It's fine. Everyone's favourite place to hang out online when you're on cruise mode. I would have done this cruise online, actually, but my internet connection isn't really reliable enough, and I didn't want to get booted halfway through this video. But yeah, online, when you're on free play mode, everyone just goes up and down this track repeatedly, and that's it. Which is kind of boring, I think, you know. But this is like the main hangout of people. Sticking with my keeping to the right rule, even though I could have just stayed on the highway there. Yeah, when you play online and you're on free mode, it's this highway, and the next section I'll be getting to is where everyone just goes up and down all day. Which is fun, don't get me wrong. I have enjoyed playing this online. But there's a whole map to go at, guys. You don't have to stay in one place. So now we're getting somewhere. I'm going to head up the mountain. And it's bits like this that I'm hoping there'll be lots more of in Forza Horizon 2. Let's hope it's good. Ooh. Because everyone loves mountain passes. If you're a car nerd, chances are you've heard of Initial D. And if you've read or seen Initial D, the anime or the manga or the comics or whatever, mountain passes are where it's at. Everyone wants to be a mountain pass racer. Because that's cool. Stupid Range Rovers, get out of my way. So yeah, if the next one's set in Russia? No, that's the accent I was doing. If the next one's set in southern France and northern Italy, hopefully there'll be lots of cool mountain passes like this. It's just cool, just going, ducking and diving and dodging through the traffic and cutting the corners as hard as you dare. Oh, I dared too much there. And then cheeky hairpins. I'm not going to try and drift this Huayra because it's too twitchy. I can correct the oversteer, but I can't. Go on, let's throw it in. Yeah! Oh, suddenly it's daytime again. When did that happen? The day-night shifts, they're not subtle. Not subtle at all. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed, actually, to hear that, in a way, let's get a sentence out, shall we? Forza Horizon 2 is apparently coming to 360 and Xbox One, which is kind of disappointing, but then I heard that they're separate games, so we shall see. Maybe I'll get to enjoy the joy of Horizon in 2 different formats, who knows. But for me, the upcoming racing games that are really going to determine which console I get, because I still haven't upgraded, I'm still with my PlayStation 3, I'm still with my Xbox 360. Looking in the future games, the only ones for a car not like me, it's all about Drive Club and it's all about Forza Horizon 2. So it's going to be a big decision. Which one do I go with? Assuming I've got any money. You know, I couldn't actually afford to buy a console right now. Although they keep taunting me on eBay with them. Look at them, look at the shinies. You know you want it, it's only £320 now. We shall see. So yeah, mountain passes are over. We're gonna weed our way around here. Is that the right word? Bit of off-roading. Oop. They took out an Evo then. Is anyone amazed by my car driving skills yet? Not me. So, yeah, Forza Horizon 2. I hope they make a good game. I'm pretty sure they will. But it does make me wonder, games like the Dirt series, where on earth does the Dirt series go now? Because if things like Forza Horizon have pretty good rally modes, not fully comprehensive, but and like Gran Turismo 6, that's got rallying. But if they've got rallying, what do you do in? Why would you bother getting a new Dirt game? You know, it'd have to be something pretty special if it's purely off-road vehicles. But why bother getting a purely off-road game when you can get a game that's got regular cars and off-road cars and all sorts of other cars? Why bother with the specialist one? You know, don't know. It's an interesting question, one that I don't have the answer to, but I don't have to because I'm not like Codemasters. I am intrigued for Grid Autosport, I have to say. That's released, I think it's end of this month, 30th of June. I'm just struggling to see where they're going to go with it. I mean, they've got open wheelers in it, and they're saying the handling model's more realistic. But if you're encroaching on Gran Turismo Forza territory, what's the point? So, the best bit about Grid, the Grid series, definitely, is, particularly online, is the close and very brutal races. That's what it's all about. I mean, even racing against the AI in the Grid series has always been, the racing has been the real thing. It's the car-to-car, bumper-to-bumper, smashy bits falling off, cars doing barrel rolls out the way, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, online, the one I played online the most is probably the first Race Driver Grid. And that was chaos a lot of the time, even on the levels that weren't destruction derbies. It was bedlam. But if you were good, you know, if you had a bit of skill, you could sort of side your way through, maybe last gasp, and everything was really good. And I think certainly Gran Turismo and Forza definitely lag behind in the way that the races play out. They're just not as thrilling or exciting as those are in Grid, so I suppose it's got that going for it. It's like, ooh, you want combinations of everything. You want the freedom and sort of the vibe of Forza Horizon, possibly coupled to a world size like you have in Test Drive Unlimited, coupled with just the ridiculous car library of Gran Turismo. And then you want the races, the races that are as thrilling as they are in Grid, you know, that would be like the ultimate racing game. And also, I'd quite like the combination of different things, that's important too. Because some days you don't want to drive silly fast supercars, ridiculous as that sounds. Some days you just want to drive cheeky little hatchback, or you want to go drifting, or you know, you want that option, or you want to go off-road. like I'm doing now. There's all those options, and you want all of them. So, I reckon we're about, maybe 2/3 of the way around now. My mouth is getting dry from all this yakking. But it's, I think we've gone through nearly a whole day's cycle now. Ooh, I'm slower than a rival. Ooh, what a shame. Didn't even know. But little things like that I like in this Forza Horizon. Just the little challenges. Ooh, I've got something else to add to that list of the Ultimate Racing game. I'd like the interconnectivity of any of the Need for Speed games. Nor they're all recent ones. That'd be good. With the whole auto log. And they're constantly going, someone, your mate has beat you on this, you are his rubbish, be better. And then you're like, he's not better than me, let's race again. It's one of the things I enjoyed most about Most Wanted. Another game which isn't that great, honestly. The Need for Speed games have been a bit lacking since Hot Pursuit. Hot Pursuit is definitely my favourite. Ooh, nearly missed the entrance. Maybe should have gone past it. But yeah, the autolog things were great. That's a really good idea. I'm intrigued by this idea of drivatar like I have on Forza Horizon. It drives for you how you do. Which I think would be a little bit embarrassing more than anything. Especially if you crash a lot or bump people. Never mind. Very near the end now. We're driving back into Kettle Hills again. So I better start summing up. I hope you've enjoyed my little drive around. Just around the edge of the world. Oh dear. Around the edge of the world of Forza Horizon. This has been part of my I Play Everything series, where basically I play what I want for a change rather than playing indie games that are sometimes a bit rubbish and get a bit depressing. So if you've enjoyed this and you've got any suggestions from what you'd like me to play, that'd be very much appreciated. Back to where we started. Took less than a day. There you go. Maybe next time I should set a stopwatch and we can see how long it takes me. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. I've got lots of indie videos, Xbox Live indie games, all sorts of things like that. And if there's any other games you'd like me to play on I Play Everything, any suggestions are more than welcome. Head to my blog, that's livefromthearcade.tumblr.com. I'm also on Twitter at LFTarcade. That's it. Thanks for watching. And if anyone fancies a game of Forza Horizon, just drop a note in the comments and yeah, we'll get together. Go cruising. Be great. See you then.